I am the greatest.
I wish I was 50 years younger and I'd kick your ass.
You won't do shit. Just stick and move. And waking you up and saying, now stick and move. Keep your hands up.
Welcome to a new episode of the Stick and Move podcast. I'm your host, Trey, here with my homeboy, Sam. And today we're talking about the top 3 greatest Puerto Rican fighters of all time. So no wasting time, guys. Sam, punch me with your number 3. Hit me.
Dude, look, man. I love all these guys, bro. I love them all. And it's really tough for me to put them in order. But it's just I'm gonna go by my favorites.
Yeah.
What I've seen, the tape I've seen. I'm gonna start with my number 3, and I'm gonna have to go with Wilfredo the Bazooka Gomez, bro. Wilfredo Gomez, bro. When he fought Salvador Sanchez, he was what, 32 and 32 knockouts? 32 and 0 and 32 KOs.
Right.
Dude, he ended his career with 44 wins, 3 losses, 42 KOs, bro. He beat Juan Laporte, bro. He beat Lupe Pintor. You know, he beat Rocky Lockridge, bro. This guy,
Zarate, bro?
Carlos Zarate, this guy, bro, was what I feel. And I've seen documentary about it too, and well, at least the people that made that documentary, they said that he blew up Puerto Rico, bro.
He did.
Yeah, he blew up Puerto Rico, and the wars of Puerto Rico versus Mexico started in that time, bro.
Go ahead.
Wilfredo Gomez is, man, the thought that he's still. I'm so happy, bro. I'm glad. I'm so happy to see that he's still here today, you know, and bro, he was just a vicious knockout. He was a great fighter, bro. Great boxer, man.
Look, I am more than sure we're going to have close to the same guys. Okay. And I'll say this. He's not my number 3, so that should tell you right there. But what I love about Wilfredo Gomez, bro, is that he was fearless, brother. He went up to fight Salvador Sanchez when nobody wanted to fight Sanchez. Did he lose? Yes, he did. But dude, he also fights the undefeated Carlos Zarate, bro.
Yeah.
At the time was a Mexican legend. They fought, if not mistaken, in San Juan, Puerto Rico at the time. Dude, this is a guy, bro, that in my opinion, he just, even though there were great Puerto Rican fighters before him, to me, he was that trailblazer in the mid 70s, going into the mid 80s, late 80s, and he was just a cornerstone of what great Puerto Rican Boricua fighters were during that era. Phenomenal number 3. He is not my number 3, so I cannot give it to him on that right there.
Well, so what is your number 3?
My number 3, I was going to go back in time, but I'm going to change it up because this guy I have my original number 2, but I'm going to put him my number 3 Okay, so let me just say it is Trinidad, bro. Now, you and I have talked about doing an overrated episode based on him as well. You and I did an episode on if Oscar De La Hoya got robbed, which you and I were consensus that De La Hoya definitely got robbed.
Mm-hmm.
Now, for those that don't know, I'm a high school world history teacher. And in my first period specifically, I have 2 Puerto Rican students. They sit right next to me. One is named Yariel. The other name is Fernando. And I asked them, guys, I'm going to do an episode on the greatest Puerto Rican fighters. And these guys, they're 15, 16 years old. Was a Generation Z, right? Or whatever their generation is. And fantastic musicians too, by the way. And the moment I said top 3, or I told them, who is the greatest Puerto Rican boxer of all time? I even told them, go talk to your dad, Go talk to your tios, talk to your abuelitos, talk to all of their grandparents, talk to all of them and ask them. They're like, we don't have to, sir. And they both said it at the same time that it was Trinidad. And I was like, really? He goes, they tell me, sir, you cannot walk into a bar. You cannot walk into a restaurant. Every corner of every street has a poster of Trinidad on every single. He has taken over the subculture or the culture, the beautiful culture that is Puerto Rico. And I'm like, really? He's like, yeah, sir. You go to Puerto Rico and you'll see what we're talking about. Trinidad is revered. Now, I tried to give him some facts. I thought De La Hoya beat him. And you know what's funny? They actually agree with me. It's like, yeah, I actually see where De La Hoya won, but it doesn't matter. He was, like I said about Gomez, he was that trailblazer in the 90s that put Puerto Rico boxing back on the map versus the older guys that we're talking about, Benitez and Gomez, those guys as well. So that's who I have my number 3. Talk to me.
Bro, look, man. Felix Tito Trinidad, bro, was a boogeyman, bro.
Dude,
He
beautiful
was,
fighter,
bro,
beautiful fighter.
bro. He was a boogeyman for real. I sat down. I didn't know who the hell Trinidad was. Me, my dad, and my brother. And I hate that my brother keeps reminding me when we saw that fight versus Yori Boy Campos.
Right.
And when we saw him knock out Yori Boy Campos, bro, my brother till today says, dude, remember when Trinidad knocked out Yuri Boy Campos? Oh, the goal, man. I want to forget about it, bro.
Yeah, bro.
I want to
Yeah.
forget about that.
Yeah.
Tito Trinidad, bro, he came onto the scene and he was beautiful, beautiful personality, bro. He
Great
feared
fighter too.
the textbook fighter, beautiful. That left hand, that left hook was, dude. If you get touched, bro, it's over. It's over. Look, guys, Tito Trinidad is, I believe your students. He is the epitome, bro.
Yeah.
He is the statue in Puerto Rico should be Tito Trinidad, bro.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying? And I love the pick. He ended his career 42 and 3 and
42 and
35
3.
and
Yeah.
35 KOs.
He had a high
Tito
35.
Trinidad, bro.
Yeah.
Tito Trinidad, great pick. There's no denying, bro. I love that pick.
I'll say this, and the reason why I don't have him higher is that I didn't like his semi-retirement in the early 2000s, coming in and coming out and, going out. I'll give him credit after coming out of retirement again and fighting Roy Jones. And who was the other? I'm trying to remember.
Winky Wright.
Winky Wright. When Winky Wright was becoming the Southpaw Boogeyman as well. I didn't like that. To me, like, it just felt like after he got schooled, that he was just like
the blueprint.
Like I gave it away.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he should have kept on going. He was great enough to keep on going. I don't know. That's just my opinion. You have any last thoughts on that?
No, I love it. I love it, guys. I love it. Well, my number 2 is Felix Tito Trinidad, bro.
All right. Go ahead.
Bro, he beat an undefeated Obacar.
I remember.
Whether we like it or not, he beat De La Hoya. He beat Whitaker. He destroyed William Joppy. I remember that.
That was a mismatch, bro.
He knocked out Maurice Blocker. Dude, the guy was a boogeyman. He was the Michael Myers, of boxing, bro. He was the talk of the town. He took over the whole. He was the face of boxing for. Go ahead. You got something to say?
Dude, remember what he did to Mayorga, bro.
Did what he did to Mayorga, yes.
What he did to Vargas, bro. And look, just for those that have never seen this podcast before, Sam and I, huge Mexican American population. I don't even know we're allowed to talk about this conversation about Puerto Rican boxers, but I will say this, bro. His fighting style in that mid-90s going on to the 2000s, bro, he was I guess you're right. He's got to be right.
Yeah.
I'll just say this, bro. What he did to Mayorga, what he did to Vargas, bro. I
Oh,
mean, his craft, bro, was something that very few boxers had at that time. And I like the way you said one of the earlier versions of the boogeyman, because that's who he was, bro. He was
bro.
the gatekeeper of those divisions, brother. He was the guy that nobody wanted to fight, which is why, you know, in the Mexican community at that time in the mid-90s, we had a love-hate relationship with De La Hoya. And
Yeah.
I honestly think what De La Hoya, where he gained that respect, was actually fighting Trinidad. And if I'm not mistaken, number 2 or top 5 most pay-per-view show of all time. You and I have done episodes on that. Boxing fight of all time. Dude, the fact that he went in to go ahead and fight a Trinidad that nobody wanted to fight. Come on, bro.
Yeah.
Now that I'm saying it out loud, I'm kind of embarrassed to have on my number 3, but I'll keep
Dude,
him at number 3. Go ahead.
I can easily have Trinidad my number 1, bro. Easy.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, the guy was, dude, he destroyed Fernando Vargas. That broke my heart, bro. A beating where Vargas was never the same again. Never.
Nope, nope, nope,
Never.
nope, nope,
So
nope.
who is your number 2, brother?
All right. So my number 2 is the famed Carlos Ortiz, bro.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm going back into time, but Carlos Ortiz from Ponce, Puerto Rico, raised in New York. He fought in 3 decades, brother, from the mid 50s into the 70s. I remember hearing stories about Carlos Ortiz as a kid growing up. And like I said, we came from that Mexican American background. And, you know, for most Latino, I'm not gonna say all Latinos, but we tend to all root for each other, even when the Mexican Puerto Rico rivalry was going on. We were still rooting for each other. And for Carlos Ortiz, bro, he was a light welterweight world champ from 59 to 1960. He moves back down. Moving back down in weight is always hard. And he would become the champion from, I think he was a 2-time champ from 62 to 65. And then from 65 to 68, dude, he beat guys like Flash Ilorde. He beat guys like Sugar Ramos. And dude, it didn't even take until his last fight, bro, to ever be knocked out, bro.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Yeah. Yeah.
dude, this is a guy, bro, that, you know, he wasn't the biggest in size. If I'm not mistaken, I think he was 5'6", 5'7", and he was just a giant amongst, he was like the little giant of the division. And he was that guy, like you said, like Tito Trinidad, that nobody wanted to fight in that division, because if you're going to step in the ring with that guy, more than likely, not to, you know, say anything gross on this thing, but you're going to be pissing blood for
Yeah.
about 4 to 7 weeks, brother. You know, 2 months. And he was just a bulldog in the ring. He was real slick. He was very fast. He was very swift, very intelligent boxer. And he was kind of like, to me, in my opinion, he was kind of like the godfather that would open up the doors to guys like Gomez and Benitez and other great Puerto Rican guys, Camacho in the future. I don't know, man. That guy is not only a Puerto Rican legend, but he is a great Latino boxing legend, in my opinion. You have any thoughts? Go ahead.
Yes, man. I saw him when maybe 15 years ago. I had a
Yeah,
videotape that was called the the kings, the Latin kings of
the Lion
boxing.
Kings of boxing.
So,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, I think that's what it was called. And he talked about his whole thing, how he heard the speed bag. When he heard
right.
the speed bag, that's what attracted him to go to the gym,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and how he learned and saw fights from the old guys, you
Right.
know, growing up, and a time where he had no other choice but to get into boxing, bro.
Yeah,
He
yeah,
had no
yeah.
other choice, and it is amazing that he didn't get knocked out. He got knocked out in his last professional fight, bro,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He did.
and that's when he called it quits.
And I don't know, man, like those kind of fight, and he fought in that era, bro, where it was all headshots. You know what I'm saying? And considering that it was mostly brawling in the ring, he actually brought that slick defensive fighting style where it looked more offensive. It's like where his
Yeah.
defense became his offense. And that's why he was a big problem in those divisions early on in that time. To me, not just a Puerto Rican legend, but a Latino. Let's skip it, bro. He is a boxing legend.
Legend. Yeah, he's a boxing legend, man. Great
All
pick.
right. So who is your number one? Talk to me, brother.
Well, you know who, I've mentioned him many times through our pods. Is
Right.
Wilfredo Benitez, bro. Es
Talk to me, bro.
verdad. The
Yeah.
Bible of boxing. The guy had a record, ended his record 53 wins, 8 losses, 31 KOs,
Yeah.
17 years old to win a WBA lightweight title. Dude, the guy fought Thomas Hearns. He beat Duran. He fought Leonard. He fought Carlos Palomino when
Yeah.
Carlos
Palomino, I
Palomino was
remember
on
that.
top of the game. I mean,
Absolutely.
dude, he gave Leonard out. Dude, I love that fight. I love the face off. It was one of my.
Phenomenal
That's
face
I
off.
think. Yeah. I think he was my number one. I think my number one face off between him and Sugar Ray Leonard, bro. The guy, dude, beat Duran when Duran was 74-2.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I
Yeah.
mean, he went 15 rounds with Tommy the Hitman Hearns. He
Hmm.
got knocked out in the 15th round. But
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
the guy was a legend, bro. Yeah, there was a time his defense was considered the best defense in boxing ever, bro. I mean, the guy was a legend, bro. He'll always be one of my top, fighters of all times. And for me, he was the best Puerto Rican boxer. That he's my number one, man. And I got him, Felix, of course, Tito Trinidad. But it's Wilfredo Benitez right now for me is number one.
And look, bro, this is a guy, bro. I love that story that he was the first. He's the earliest champion, winning at 17 years old. I even love that he brought his high school buddies to that fight to win the championship.
Oh yeah,
That's
yeah,
like
that's right.
that's one of my favorite box sports stories ever. But when it goes to Benitez, bro, he can't. It's a crime to me, bro, that he is not in that mix with the four kings. When you think of the four kings, they already been labeled Duran, Leonard, Hearns, and Hagler. Dude, to me, Benitez is 4A, bro. Like he should be there. Like he should be part of that crown. If I'm,
Yeah,
in my opinion, this is a guy that fought them all. He was not afraid to get into the ring. He was a legend. And that defense, bro, you and I did top 3 defensive fighters of all time. He was on my list as one of the greatest defensive fighters of all time because, bro, his head movement, his foot movement, his intelligence when it came to defensive fighting, it was on the borderline of intellect with slickness, bro. His ability to slip jabs in the corner. It seemed like he would purposely go in the corner so that he can bob and weave to the other guy's offense. And he did it with such ease. It just felt like he was on a different level than the other boxers in that era. When you can arguably say that the welterweights going all the way to the super welterweight to the middleweight division was the best it had ever been in boxing history. In those 70s and 80s. And
bro.
he was right there for me. Go ahead.
Yeah, they considered him the Bible of boxing, bro. They
Yeah.
considered him the Bible of boxing. I mean, he was the guy standing in the gate. All
Hmm.
right, he was the guy standing. He's the guy you had to go through, and it was the test of all tests.
Hmm.
The test of all tests. And
Yeah.
he was a legend. And for me, I have him my number one. Like I said, I can go either him and Tito, but I got him my number one, man. I
Look.
mean, come on, 17 years old, bro. What were we doing at 17 years old, dude? I think I was playing Super Mario, brother. You know what I'm saying? Come
Technical
on.
for me, bro.
Yeah,
Technical.
yeah. So
Uh,
who is your number one, brother?
Look, I wanted Benitez on there. He is not on there. So in a minute when we talk about who do we leave off, believe me, he's the one I left off. But for me, I'm going with Wifredo Gomez, bro. The idea that this is a
Yeah.
boxer, brother, who his first fight ever goes into a draw. Now, for most people, when your first fight ever does not go your way, a lot it makes or breaks you, bro. And after that, he goes on to a 32-0 streak of straight up KO or stoppages, bro. To me, dude, I don't want to say it's more impressive than a 17-year-old, but to me, it's like picking who your favorite child is. But Wilfredo Gomez, in my opinion, to me, bro, he was just that trailblazer. He had no fear. He fought the Serate that nobody wanted, an undefeated Serate. He fought the Laporte that nobody else wanted to fight.
That's right.
He was that trailblazer when it came
Lupe
to the
Pintor.
Mexican. He was a trailblazer for the Mexican versus Puerto Rican rivalry, brother.
Yes.
He was their champion. And I can't speak for the other guys like Camacho and Benitez that I left off. But bro, in my opinion, what pulled me into loving boxing when I was a kid was that rivalry, you know. And it was, you know, you and I come from an area where the Mexican and the Puerto Rican culture outside of boxing is very complicated. My students that I told you about, we always joke around with each other about that rivalry, and we have a sense of humor about it. We can laugh about it. I love both cultures, of course, but there is that intense rivalry, and he epitomized it. Did he come up short against Sanchez? Yes. Do I believe if they fought again, would it have looked the same? I think nobody's beating Sanchez, in my opinion. But he was that next tier, bro. He sacrificed his record of going 32 straight fights with the TKO or KO to fight the ultimate 70s, early 80s boogeyman. Who does that, bro? If you're on a streak like that, but then again, they didn't care about stuff like that. They wanted to fight the best. And for me, I had to give him that total credit. For me, he's number one. Go ahead.
Yeah, I love it. I had him on my number 3. Like I said, either one, anybody could have been. But, bro, he's the one that started the whole Mexican Puerto Rican wars,
He
bro.
did,
At
bro.
least in my opinion. You know,
Yeah.
go ahead.
Besides Sanchez, he was the best, bro. He was the best in that division. They even said that he was the greatest super bantamweight of all time. That's what a lot of journalists were saying at the
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, bro, the dude was a king in the streets, bro.
Yeah.
People were so proud of him. I seen his documentary, bro. A legend, you know. Dude, when it came to the he put a lot of fear, bro.
Oh yeah.
He put a lot of fear in his opponents, and I mean his attitude, bro. I mean, dude, what a crazy fighter, man. It was just beautiful to watch. I wish we had a Gomez today, man. Honestly,
I'll
the
say
guy was
this.
amazing.
Another superlative I'll give him is he was relentless, bro.
Yeah,
He was, dude. That people need to watch that fight. Even though Salvador Sanchez got him to the mat and got the best of him in that fight, dude. That fight was degrees above. I'll put it this way: it's what we crave for in today's boxers today.
yeah, yeah.
Where there's no protection of belts or records, or I don't want to look like a fool in the ring. I'm too cool to fight the fight that I want to fight. That kind of style. Dude, these guys, they just watch that fight, Salvador Sanchez versus Wilfredo Gomez, and you
Beautiful
will
fight.
take a next level appreciation
Yeah, yeah.
for what boxing used to be then versus what boxing is now. Now, who did you leave off, brother?
I love Hector Camacho. He was a real proud Puerto Rican.
Oh,
I
huge.
mean, the flags were everywhere. The guy was a showman. When we talk about polarizing figures of boxing, he is one, bro. I mean, the guy was a showman, bro.
Yeah.
He was a showman. He could back it up.
Right.
Camacho, Cotto. I mean, these guys, you know, those are the guys I left out.
Yeah, same here. I had Camacho on my list. I had, of course, Benitez. I mean, I think it's a crime that I had Benitez out. But, bro, you can't argue with Ortiz. You can't argue with Trinidad. To me, like, Puerto Rico has such a rich history to be proud of. And it's hard. It's hard. You and I
And
did a
and
top.
and
Go ahead.
and it's sorry about that. And such a small island.
Yeah, dude, talk to me about it, you know? So we'll go ahead and leave it on there, guys. Guys, on the comments, go ahead, like and subscribe. Tell us who your top 3 Puerto Rican boxers are of all time. Tell us where we're crazy. Tell us where we got it right. Do you
Yeah.
have any final words for our audience out there?
Thank you guys. As you can see, I'm on the road and it's getting dark. If not, we'd continue. But I like to appreciate everybody that's commenting, liking. Please share. We're trying to get the channel up. We're trying to get more subscribers. We want to make more content. If there's anything y'all want us to talk about, or top 3 or whatever, let us know. We'll make an episode on it.
I couldn't have said it any better. If you get a message from me, I am at the Stick and Move podcast. Sam is Stick and Move 75. And don't forget to stick and move, baby. All right, we're good.
I am the greatest.
I wish I was 50 years younger and I'd